when companies approach us to talk about this topic, ang sinasabi namin, ideally, dapat yung mga nasa 40s and 50s ang a-attend dito. Bakit? Kasi you cannot prepare for your retirement if you're going to retire 1 or 2 years from now, no? So it really takes several years for you to prepare for your retirement. So I think the earlier that you learn about this, then the better, because you can really plan out what you want to do. Learning objectives natin is, first, I will give you an overview of how to do a financial inventory. So very important yan pag retirement planning, kasi kung meron kang financial goal, hindi ka makakapunta dun sa destination mo kung hindi mo alam kung nasaan ka in the first place. And that means knowing where you are, what are your resources, and doing a financial inventory. The second thing that you will learn for today is yung designing your retirement lifestyle. Again, iba-iba yung gusto natin gawin, iba-iba yung situation natin. So we have to specifically know how to design our preference. Kung ano ba yung klaseng retirement ang gusto natin. Third is to develop a personal financial plan. I always believe that personal finance is personal. Ibig sabihin, yung mga ginagawa ko sa pera ko or how I manage my money may not be the best way for you to manage your money as well, no? So ibig sabihin, yung mga investment ko, yung mga ginagawa ko sa pera, hindi pwedeng kinokopya mo lang siya. Dapat ikaw mismo yung nag-isip ng financial plan mo, kasi yun yung pinaka-appropriate for your lifestyle. So how do you develop a personal financial plan? So I'll give you an overview of that also later. And then lastly, I will give you the financial tools and strategies, and also tips and advice on how to prepare for retirement. So let's go to the first part, which is developing or knowing or conducting a financial inventory. Pag sinabi natin financial inventory, this means knowing where you currently stand. So do a financial inventory to know where you currently stand when it comes to your money. Ano ka ba? Nasaan ka ba ngayon? This means knowing your net worth and also calculating yung expected na cash flow mo upon retirement. So net worth, that means computing our assets and liabilities. And of course, when it comes to cash flow, it means knowing our income and expenses. But in this case, knowing our expected income and expenses during retirement. So when we say assets, you have to compute how much cash do I have, ano yung current worth ng mga properties natin, ano yung present value ng mga investments, and then very important, we talk or we contact our financial advisors, yung mga insurance agents natin. Tanungin mo, magkano na ba yung cash value ng mga insurance policies with investments mo? Because the truth is, you don't need a life insurance policy forever. It's actually recommended that you redeem some of them by the time that you retire. Kunin mo na yung cash value niya. And of course, you have to also consider ano ba yung mga receivables mo. Sino-sino at magkano ba yung utang sa'yo. Nako, lalo na sa mga office mates natin na humiram ng pera sa atin. Bago tayo mag-retire, kailangan singilin na natin sila. No? Kasi mas mahirap na sila singilin kapag wala na tayo sa opisina. So, you list down all your current assets. Of course, we also need to compute our liabilities. Magkano ba yung mga utang natin? Especially sa credit cards and personal loans. And then yung balance natin sa home loan, sa auto loan na meron tayo. And the other side of the equation, kung meron naman tayong mga hiniram na pera, nako, magkano ba yung mga yan? Kailangan din natin sila, of course, bayaran. Kasi syempre ayaw naman natin na sabihan tayo ng ibang tao na hindi marunong magbayad ng utang. Simply, ang kailangan lang nating tingnan ay kung meron ba tayong positive net worth. Yung assets minus our liabilities dapat greater than 0. No specific amount na dapat yung net worth mo, but of course, the higher your net worth, the better. Pero sa akin, ang minimum requirement lang naman ay dapat ay positive siya. And let's just say that you're 50 years old now at positive siya. So the goal now is to maintain a positive net worth. Hopefully, you can increase your net worth through the years up until you reach retirement. So this is a number that you can monitor as you approach retirement, and ideally dapat greater than 0 siya. Ideally, you should have no more liabilities at retirement. So this is very important kasi pag nag-retire tayo, syempre biglang mahihinto yung ating cash flow, yung ating income. So kung meron tayong mga regular na binabayaran like mortgage or personal loans, then baka mahirapan tayo. So ideally, dapat wala na siya. Kung meron mang matira, yung makukuha nating retirement pay, I would say na that is the priority. So pagtanggap natin ng ating retirement pay, bayaran muna natin yung mga utang natin so that we can start our retirement years with no liabilities. So income during retirement. So this is very important. Pag nag-retire tayo, saan ba tayo kukuha ng pera? So we will be receiving pension primarily from SSS. Siguro may mga iba din kayong mga sources of income when you retire. Kung meron kayong negosyo na tumatakbo, magkano yung average monthly net income niya? Kung meron na kayong existing na mga investments, lalo na yung mga investments na nagbibigay ng dividends, how much is the average monthly profit? No? Magkano yung usual na natatanggap mo? Royalties, magkano yung average yearly amount? Meron ba kayong royalties? I actually know a handful of people na talagang kumikita ng maganda sa royalties. Anong ginawa nila? Nagsulat ba sila ng kanta? Well, yung isa, nagsulat ng libro and yearly may nakukuha siyang cheque. Hindi ganun kalaki pero but still, it's a good amount from the sales ng libro niya. So that's royalty. Meron kaming kapitbahay na nagsusulat siya ng mga commercial jingles at saka mga campaign jingles. So, karamihan ng mga campaign jingles na naisulat niya ay ginagamit ng mga local politicians. And meron siyang agreement with the local politicians na every time na gagamitin yung campaign jingle niya ay meron siyang royalty payment. Eh yung mga sinusulatan niya ng mga campaign jingles ay laging nananalo, lalo na yung mga konsihal. So every election period, which is basically every 3 years, no, meron siyang pera na nakukuha kasi sa local elections, no, dahil ginagamit yung mga campaign na campaign songs na na-compose niya. So we can really expand our mindset na pagdating sa pera or sa income, it's not just from a business or investment or from a salary. There are actually other sources of income that we can build, such as royalties. And I also know a lot of retirees na nag-i-invest sa real estate. So meron silang rental income. So imagine yourself, ano ba yung magiging sources of income mo when you retire? Saan manggagaling? Saan ka kukuha ng pera? At hindi kasama sa income yung allowance na ibibigay sa iyo ng iyong anak. So do not think of your children as your retirement plan. That is the number one mistake. Okay? So wag mong iisipin na, ay, may anak naman ako, hihingi nila ako ng pera sa kanila ng allowance. So don't ever think that. Okay? Pagdating naman sa expenses, particularly during retirement, pwede rin natin itong i-estimate. So, magkano ba yung magiging daily and monthly costs of living natin during retirement? So, aside from the paying ng food, groceries, utilities, yung maintenance medicines natin, kailangan natin i-consider yung mga occasional expenses. Yung amilyar ng lupa ng bahay natin, yung registration ng sasakyan natin. So, these are annual expenses that we often forget when we are creating our budget or when we are thinking of our expenses. Of course, yung budget for special occasions, importante din yan. Especially during the holidays, maraming mga gastos. So you have to project, you have to imagine when I retire, magkano yung magiging mga gastos ko. So once you are able to estimate yung income and expenses during retirement, the question now is, are you going to have a positive cash flow during retirement? So income minus expenses should be greater than 0. Of course, the higher, the better. But para sa akin, ang minimum requirement lang ay dapat positive siya. So it's important to have enough income to cover your expenses. And wag tayong magsasaya dahil meron tayong lump sum na makukuha during retirement and isipin natin, okay na to, babudgeting ko na lang to for the rest of my life. And I'm sure may mga makukuha naman akong additional na pera through the years. Nako, don't ever think of that. Yung SSS mismo. Yung father ko, nung nag-retire siya, ang nakukuha niyang pension sa SSS is around 12,000 pesos per month. At alam mo ba, yung maintenance pa lang niya, maintenance medicine pa lang niya, 7,000 na. No? Kasi yung tatay ko ay diabetic, tapos meron pa siyang heart ailment, etc. So medyo marami yung kanyang maintenance medicine, meron pa siyang quarterly check-up with the doctor. So doon pa lang, 7,000 gastos na kagad. So yung 5,000 na natitira sa kanyang SSS pension, syempre hindi na yun kasya sa kanyang cost of living. And during the start of his retirement, kinukuha niya dun sa lump sum na nakuha niya yung panggastos nila ng mother ko. And I told him, this is not sustainable kasi this will eventually run out. Why? The average life expectancy of Filipinos is 71 years old. So at 60, you should be ready to cover 11 years worth of expenses, at least 11 years worth of expenses. And according to World Health Organization, ang global life expectancy at birth is projected to reach 73 years by 2025. Ang tatay ko, would you believe, is already 73 years old. At since naging regular yung check-up niya sa doktor, very religious siya sa pag-take ng kanyang maintenance medicine, ay malakas pa rin. So I'm seeing a lot more years sa kanya. And during his retirement, when we computed yung expected na pera na matatanggap niya, minus yung monthly and yearly expenses nila, ang na-project namin was maglalast lang siya ng 8 years. So, at the age of 60, having a lot of money that can last you for 8 years, you will tend to be complacent about your lifestyle. So that is one of the most common mistakes that I see. So remember, sa Pilipinas, 71 ang average na life expectancy ng mga Pilipino. But it's going to be longer because of the advances in medicine, and we are living healthier lifestyles today, and we have more safety protocols, no, not just because of the pandemic, but we are living more safe than in the Middle Ages, for example, diba? So our lifestyles are exposed to less risk today. So we have to think of the years that we will be living. So dapat ay talagang pinag-iisipan natin, no, ano ba yung ating mga magiging sources of income when we retire. So are you ready for retirement? If you compute your assets and liabilities to calculate your net worth, and if you project your cash flow, then if both net worth and cash flow is positive, then congratulations, you are ready for retirement. If either one is negative, kahit isa lang ang mag-negative dyan, then you need to take action today and do not delay. So this is something that you can take home later tonight. I-compute ninyo. Don't worry if hindi nyo siya matapos ng isang gabi. Sometimes it takes several days up to a week, no, before you are able to have a more accurate computation of your net worth and cash flow. So, kailangan positive siya. Tapos, kung hindi ka pa mag-retire ngayon, i-maintain mo na positive siya. So, it's something that you can monitor quarterly up until you retire. And it's a good habit to maintain to make sure na hindi ka mahihirapan financially when you retire. So, do a financial inventory to know where you currently stand when it comes to your money. Ito, very important. You now know where you are. You have a vague idea of what you want to do during retirement, but it's important to be specific about it. So know your retirement lifestyle. Ano bang gagawin mo pa nag-retire ka? Definitely, your lifestyle will change when you retire. It's important to calculate how much it will cost. Magkano? Knowing how much it will cost for you to live your desired lifestyle will help you determine your financial strategies. So your retirement life, so kailangan mong isipin, imagine your typical day. What will be your desired normal weekly, monthly, and yearly routine? So importante, pag i-imagine mo yung iyong daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly routine, kailangan lalo na sa weekly routine, kasama yung exercise and quote-unquote work. Bakit quote-unquote work? Hindi tayo pwedeng maging idle, lalo na yung utak natin, no? So, it's important to pursue something na something that will stimulate our intellect pa rin, no? Nag-iisip pa rin tayo, nakakapag-analyze pa rin tayo, etc. So not necessarily work as in work, but something that will challenge us. And also, very important yung exercise. Kung masyado kang busy para pag-exercise nung nagtatrabaho ka, nako, pag nag-retire ka, gawin mo na siyang priority. Make time for it. Alright? How much will it cost to do this lifestyle today? So daily, monthly, and yearly cost. And of course, wag natin kakalimutan yung mga medical expenses. We have to be honest with ourselves. Tanggapin na natin na kailangan nating mag-visit sa doctor regularly. In the case of my parents, quarterly, meron silang check-up, no? And then meron tayong maintenance medicine, especially if we have a family history of a specific disease. So, sa family ng tatay ko ay meron silang line ng diabetes. So, early on talagang pinlano na natin na syempre, eventually mag-i-insulin ka, etc. So those are all expenses dahil hindi lang naman yung insulin yung maintenance cost mo, pati yung blood sugar checker, yung lanseta ng pag-check ng dugo, di ba? So lahat yon may cost yon. So you have to think of ano ba yung lifestyle na gusto mong mangyari when you retire, and then how much it will cost. Kung gusto mo ba monthly, nagta-travel ka, locally or international. Meron ako naging client na tinulungan ko mag-design ng retirement lifestyle nila. Ang plano nila was to go back to their home province in Cebu, tapos magte-tend ng farm. So, something as specific as that would be ideal. Meron akong isa pang naging client, ang gusto nila, bumili ng condo sa BGC kasi pareho silang foodie ng mag-asawa. Ang dami daw mga bagong kainan sa BGC. So, pag-retire daw nila, during that time, para magre-retire na in 4 years time, gusto nilang bumili ng condominium sa BGC para walking distance daw lahat ng mga kainan doon. Tapos, that's something that they will do regularly. And then, they also plan to travel every quarterly daw, local destination. Yung gusto ng asawa niya is baka attend daw ng mga Philippine festival. So yung mga ati-atihan, sinulog, Mascara Festival. So yun yung inimagine nila na retirement life. So I want you to be really specific with the lifestyle that you want to do para mas madaling makompute kung magkano ba yung kailangan mong pera para magawa yon. So now that you know where you currently stand and where you want to go, ano ba yung klaseng lifestyle na gusto mo, it's time to create your financial plan. So you have to match the vision. Okay? Ito yung gusto kong mangyari. Kailangan yung meron ako at yung expected na matatanggap ko ay magma-match. Di ba? So, do your financial inventory as we mentioned earlier. Are you net worth positive? How much is your liquid assets? Estimate your retirement income. Magkano yung matatanggap mo pag nag-retire ka? And then, calculate the cost of your desired lifestyle. Is your desired lifestyle affordable? If not, what can you adjust? Meron akong narinig na, meron akong kaibigan na sinabi niya sa akin pag nag-retire daw siya, mag-a-around the world daw siya. No? So sabi ko sa kanya, paano ko mag-a-around the world? Wala kang investments ngayon. Saan ka kukuha ng pera pang around the world mo? Sabi niya, galing daw sa retirement pay niya. No? Yung makukuha daw niya lump sum. So sabi ko sa kanya, optimistically, magkano makukuha mong retirement pay? Sabi niya, mga 10 million daw. Ayan. So sabi ko, 10 million, isipin mo, kung gagastos ka ng 100,000 a month, yung 10 million na yan, so 1.2, siguro more or less mga 8 years, 9 years, ubus na. And then after that, saan ka kukuha ng pera? Napaisip siya bigla. Oo nga, no? Hindi pala pwede na mag-around the world. Kasi European tour pa lang, mga 500,000 na yung magagastos mo ron. Di ba? So hindi talaga nag-match. So you can definitely adjust either your vision or you have to work hard today to increase your means so that you can achieve yung ideal retirement lifestyle mo. It's important to reduce your expenses first, then find ways to make money so you can increase your income. So, ano ba yung mga financial adjustment strategies na pwede natin gawin? This is during retirement. Para naman yung expenses na project natin during retirement ay babawasan natin. So, the first recommendation is to downsize your life. Okay? So, consider moving to a smaller place. You can sell the house or you can renovate it and iparenta mo. May kakilala ko, yung bahay nila, syempre 3-bedroom house kasi ito sa family house. Ang ginawa nila ay ni-renovate nila yung 3 kwarto ng mga anak niya, ginawa niyang parang apartment, parang nagpa boarding house siya. Tapos silang mag-asawa lumipat sa mas maliit na apartment. So something like that, no? At least meron kang income from the rentals. So yung nakukuha mong income from the rentals, pwedeng yun yung magbayad dun sa rent kung saan ka lumipat. Okay? You can sell unused things, appliances at home. So sa bahay namin, meron kaming 3 ref. Kasi medyo malaki din yung pamilya namin. Pero nung nag-retire yung father ko at lahat kaming magkakapatid ay wala na rin sa bahay, sabi ko, isang ref na lang kailangan mo, ibenta natin sa kapatid ko yung 2 ref. So yung sumunod sa akin, binili niya yung isang ref namin kasi sabi ko, wag mo na kunin, bilhin mo na para pandagdag na rin sa gastos ng parents natin. Tapos yung bunso namin, kinuha niya yung isa. So, you can try a minimalist lifestyle. That's, it's been gaining traction, yung minimalist lifestyle. Ang ibig sabihin ng minimalist lifestyle, hindi naman yung tipong wala kang gamit, but each item in your house serves a purpose and walang extra. So parang Marie Kondo, no? So ang ititira mo lang are the things that spark joy. You can do a garage sale to get rid of clutter, lalo na yung mga gamit ng mga anak mo na nakatambak dyan sa bahay. Nako, ibenta mo na. Sabihin mo yung mga anak mo, ibebenta ko to pag hindi mo kinuha. Alright? Kasi the more clutter that you see at home, nakaka-affect yun sa mood natin, sa mindset natin. So, mas masaya tayo, mas peaceful ang mindset natin kapag wala tayong masyado nakikitang kalat sa bahay. So, ang tendency kasi ng mga anak natin, nagpapatago sa bahay ng mga gamit nila. Nako. So, get rid of the clutter. Another thing that you can do, of course, as we mentioned, getting rid of clutter is to sell assets. So, house and other idle properties. Nung nag-retire yung tatay ko, nalaman ko na yung tatay niya, so basically yung lolo ko, ay merong farm sa Bulacan na pinamana sa kanilang magkakapatid. So nung tinanong ko, anong ginagawa niyo sa farm? Wala daw, it's just an idle land. So sabi ko, would you be willing to sell your portion or your share of that farmland para meron kang cash. And pumayag siya. So, you look at your properties, minsan may mga ganyan, yung mga unresolved properties na hindi natapos paghati-hatian galing sa mga magulang ninyo, tito, tita, etc. na hindi naman nagagamit. If you haven't touched it for 5 years, it's probably better to just sell that property. Yung mga extra na kotse, pwede na rin siyang ibenta. And this is also the time that you can redeem your investments. Yung mga napakaraming taon na pinalaki mo ng mga investments sa mutual fund, UITF, stock market, or wherever, it may be a good time to also redeem them. At yung mga insurance policies natin, baka pwede mo na rin i-claim yung cash values niya. Ang insurance policy kasi, mainly, it is for financial protection. Pag meron nangyari sa'yo, at least hindi maghihirap yung pamilya mo. Ngayon, upon retirement, the assumption is wala nang umaasa sa'yo. Kayo na lang mag-asawa. Yung mga anak mo may mga sarili ng buhay, may mga sarili ng pinagkakakitaan, hindi na sila nakaasa sa'yo. So definitely, you can get rid of your insurance policies. No? Ngayon, paano yung estate taxes? So there are other tools na you can get for estate planning. So that's probably another subject that we can discuss. But you can definitely claim the cash values of the insurance policies that you have. Okay, so we took care of our expenses during retirement. So pag nag-retire tayo, pwede natin bawasan yung mga expenses natin. But also we need to create continuous income for ourselves. So pagdating sa retirement, there's the old definition. Pag yung mga tinatanong ko na nag-retire for the past 10 years no, sa mga workshop ko, ang iniisip talaga nila, retirement is the time when you stop working and just sit at home and enjoy life, quote-unquote enjoy life. But this is now obsolete. The new definition, retirement is the time when you can follow your passion, when you can reinvent yourself. Okay? So marami kang pwedeng gawin during retirement. Kasi ang retirement naman hindi naman ibig sabihin mahina ka na, wala ka nang kayang gawin. There's always that first stage of retirement, usually from 60 to 75. 60 to 70, that's 15 years na malakas ka pa, assuming that you really took care of your health, no? So malakas ka pa at marami ka pang pwedeng gawin. So you can work on things that make you feel productive, useful, and fulfilled. Ano itong mga to? So ito yung mga pwede mong gawin. You can remain employed, you can do some personal endeavors, and you can pursue business opportunities. Ano yung remain employed? Hindi ka magre-retire sa Union Bank, no? Diyan ka ba? Hindi ibig sabihin no. Ibig sabihin niyan, you can find work na mas madali, mas chill, kumbaga. In the case of my father, kasi I have several businesses also. I have a food cart franchise, a laundry shop, etc. And ang ginawa ko sa father ko, siya yung parang naging manager, quote-unquote, ng mga businesses ko. So, ang naging trabaho nung dad ko nung nag-retire siya, ay siya yung pupunta dun sa mga businesses ko para kunin yung mga sales report, kunin yung pera, and also to build yung camaraderie among my staff. Kasi nung nagtatrabaho siya, ganun yung ganun yung trabaho niya, and I know na baka ma-miss niya yung dati niyang ginagawa sa trabaho na kasi siya vice president of a company, so it's really more of the management and leadership role. So sabi ko, yung mga staff ko, I have around 15 people scattered across different small businesses. So gusto ko sana magkakilala, maging magkakaibigan sila. So can you be like the manager / supervisor for all of them? So yun yung ginawa ko. To syempre sinisweldohan ko yung tatay ko para sa ginagawa niya, no? On the other hand, yung tita ko naman ay nagtrabaho sa simbahan. So naghahanap ng parang admin staff yung church niya. So it's very light work. So nung nag-retire siya ay pumasok siya sa simbahan, doon siya nag-apply at doon siya nagtatrabaho. So, she enjoys her work kasi very religious yung tita ko. So, nandun siya. So, you can definitely remain employed kung meron kang anak na may business, baka pwede kang doon magtrabaho, no? Or you can probably find another company. Uso naman yung mga work from home ngayon, di ba? There are now jobs that are easy to do kasi nasa bahay ka lang. Personal endeavor. So ito yung mga nababanggit kanina, no? What if for the longest time ay gusto mong i-pursue yung iyong painting hobby, no? So this is the time that you can pursue your personal endeavors and then try to see how you can make money from them. Meron akong na-meet na all his life he worked as a lawyer, no? So abogado siya. Nung nag-retire siya, pinursu niya yung photography na hobby niya. At hindi lang niya pinursu, talagang kinareer niya. Ibig sabihin yung mga photographs niya, kasi meron siyang other hobby na nagfo-photograph siya, nagbe-birdwatch siya, no? Birdwatching yung hobby niya. So, he was able to photograph a lot of mga rare birds. So, nagta-travel siya around the country, pinicturean niya yung mga endemic species of birds in the Philippines. Tapos, nabebenta niya sa mga wildlife magazines internationally yung mga pictures. So tinanong ko siya, Sir Jerry, magkano po yung mga pictures niyo pag binibenta niyo? Sabi niya, ano siya, kung rights to use lang to print on the magazine, mga 50,000 pesos. Pero kapag they want to buy the full rights, I sell it at around 200,000 pesos. 'Di ba? Nagawa niya na yung gusto niya na picture ng mga birds, mga rare birds, pero pinagkakitaan pa niya. So, mga personal endeavor, something that you can do, something that you can enjoy because it is your passion. Another option is, of course, to pursue business opportunities. So, I would recommend to get a franchise business instead if you don't have any experience sa pag-nenegosyo dahil the truth is, mahirap magnegosyo kung upon retirement ay doon ka pa lang talaga mag-aaral kung paano magpatakbo ng negosyo, baka mahirapan ka. It's always easier to get a franchise business kasi turnkey business siya, ituturo na lang sa'yo ng company kung paano patakbo yung negosyo, tapos you can just enjoy running your business. Pero kung talagang porsigido ka na magtayo ng sarili mo negosyo, then of course, go for it. Hindi ko alam kung ano ba yung iyong skills, yung iyong determination, yung iyong competence. But in most cases lang, kinikwento ko lang sa inyo na it would be more financially smart to just get a franchise business. Alright? So you can definitely pursue business opportunities as well when you retire. So final tips before we end. Things to remember. Number 1, don't go for get-rich-quick schemes. Usually, scam yan. Marami akong kilalang retirees. Nako, ininvest yung kanilang retirement pay sa kung ano-anong get-rich-quick scheme kasi nga na-realize sila kulang yung kanilang retirement pay. So, nagmamadali na, no? Kasi nag-retire na sila, nagmamadali. Naging greedy, may inoffer sa kanilang investment scam, nilagay nila yung pera, nawala. No, so don't go for get rich quick schemes. Doon tayo sa mga traditionally ay profitable ventures, no? Lalo na ngayon, ang daming cryptocurrency scams. Grabe. Dami kong kilala na nawawala ng pera kasi hindi nila alam kung ano yung pinapasok nila, no? So, which leads to our second tip. Don't invest in something you don't understand. Usong-uso ngayon yung mga cryptocurrency investments. I would say na kung hindi mo alam kung paano nag-work yan, kung hindi mo kayang i-explain sa akin paano nag-work ang Bitcoin, nako, you don't put money on something that you cannot explain to someone else, no? So, be very careful kasi diyan nagsisimula yung mga naloloko sa scams. Do be conservative in your spending. So, kailangan huwag ubusin yung inyong retirement pay pag nakuha ninyo. Marami akong kilala, lalo na yung mga OFWs, to be honest. Nag-retire sila, eventually, nakakuha sila napakalaking pera. Ang ginagawa, bumili ng kotse, bumili ng bahay, binili yung anak ng kondo, etc. After 5 years, ubos na yung retirement pay, hindi nila alam kung ano yung gagawin nila. Asa sila ngayon sa anak nila. So, anak, binilhan naman kita ng kondo. So, bigyan mo naman ako ng allowance, mga ganyan na. So, don't spend recklessly, no? So, be conservative. Avoid becoming one-day millionaires. Ito pa, don't readily lend money to relatives and friends. Ako, yung mga retirees, number 1 target yan ng mga kamag-anak at mga kaibigan na uutangan. Uutangan para magtayo ng negosyo, i-invite para maging partner sa isang business. So, wag. Ako, I would say no, no? Kahit na sobrang close mo yung kaibigan mo, unless they have a sound business plan, then probably you can consider it. Pero yung kamag-anak or kaibigan na lalapit sa'yo, uy, meron akong business idea, baka gusto mong mag-partner, no? Kailangan lang natin ng 500,000. So, ibigay mo yung kapital, ako yung magtatayo ng negosyo, ako bahala dyan. Nako, mga script yan ng mga hindi alam kung paano magtayo ng negosyo. So, kailangan meron kang business plan, meron business plan na ipe-present sa'yo. Ito yung plano ko, ito yung business plan ko, ito yung marketing strategy ko, ito yung market research ko, etc. Yun, doon pwede pa. Pero yung simple lang na uutang or hihiram ng pera or i-invite ka na mag-provide ng capital, do not accept it. Okay? And of course, don't stop learning. Yung nasabi ko sa inyo ngayon, for just 40 minutes, no? This is usually a whole day workshop that I conduct. But I've given you an overview for the past 40 minutes, and I hope I was able to spark that interest to learn more. So the earlier that you learn, the more options that you will have, the more opportunities that you will be able to seize. Okay? So wag tayong magtumigil sa pag-aaral, lalo na sa pagdating sa investing and creating sources of income. So ano yung action plan natin? Just a review. First, you have to do a financial inventory. You have to know what resources you have to plan effectively. Design a comfortable lifestyle that's within your available budget. So, match your vision. Ito yung gusto kong buhay pag nag-retire ako. Ito yung meron ako ngayon. So, ano ba yung realistic, no? Set financial goals to motivate you, something to work for and look forward to. Okay? So, kailangan nangangarap pa rin tayo. So, continue to grow your wealth. There's still a lot of opportunities for you. Marami pa kayong pwedeng gawin. Kung kumain na kayo sa KFC, sa Kentucky Fried Chicken, si Colonel Sanders, tinayo niya yung Kentucky Fried Chicken at the age of 65 or 64. So, after 60 niya na yon. And he died a billionaire. So, pwede pa kayo maging bilyonaryo kung meron kayong award-winning na recipe ng fried chicken, no? Katulad ng Colonel Sanders. Marami, pwede nyong i-search yan. Mga celebrities, mga famous people who became rich or who started their career after 60 at marami kayong makikita sa Google. So, there's still a lot of opportunity for you.